My name is Thabo Magwai. I'm a medical scientist in the Department of Chemical Pathology at UKZN, linked to UKZN. On a day-to-day basis, my job involves the development and verification of new methods that are coming into the lab before they can be consumed by the lab. And then there's also troubleshooting whatever problems that we're having in the lab. I also have some interest into the IT system of the lab, so we also help with the troubleshooting some IT issues in the lab. My research interest starts from cardiometabolic diseases. I also have interest into pre-analytical errors, and also I have a project that I'm running at the moment for my PhD that is on schizophrenia, where we created the schizophrenia red model at the UKZN Westfield campus. So going into the reason for my interest, so cardiometabolic diseases, I went into cardiometabolic diseases because I believe that in as much as we have problems with infectious diseases, there is a lot that we don't know about very dangerous killers like diabetes, hypertension, and all of those. There's more that we can learn, and then from a lab perspective, it could also help us to better diagnose these people earlier, and then they can get treatment earlier. My reason for interest into pre-analytical errors is because I work in a diagnostic lab. So there are samples coming in, and then samples are being rejected all the time, and that in fact affects the patient. So in our settings, we have people taking transport from different places coming into our lab, and then if they come here and they collect bloods, and then that blood is rejected, they come back after 2 weeks, still there's no results. So that affects the patient. So if we can try and minimize that, then it takes off some money that the department would have to spend, and also it helps the patient. And then the one that I'm doing for my PhD is because when I was doing some reading, I realized that, okay, mental health is also another issue that is becoming one of the biggest killers of people. And there isn't much that the lab does at the moment. The diagnosis depends on a psychiatrist or a psychologist sitting with the patient and then deciding that these are the symptoms, and then we can diagnose the patient. So what we are trying to do with that, we are trying to bring in the lab into the whole diagnosis, where we are saying that can we find any markers that we can use in the lab to try and better standardize the diagnosis of this patient. So we just created the red model for schizophrenia. We completed that. We did some behavioral testing. The results were looking very promising. So now we just need to do DNA methylation on that. And then once we can show that there are some methylation markers that can differentiate between those, the schizophrenic and the non-schizophrenic, then we can look into testing those in human beings.